Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Taanit. We are up to Perek Bet, Mishna Yud. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilun Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Aranbayev, and Eliyahu ben Burchai Israelov, Menuchatam beGan Eden, Amen. And Neavdi ben Chaim Lechaim, v'derefua Shlema Bacha bat Esther, and Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, Betor Shar Chulei Israel. The Mishnah begins, En gozrin Taanit al hatzibur beRosh Chodesh b'Chanukah b'Purim. We may not decree a fast on the community that will fall on Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, or Purim, because these are festive days when it is forbidden to fast. V'im itchilu en mafsikin. However, if the community had already begun to observe a set of fasts, and one fast fell on one of these festivals, they fast on that day and do not interrupt the series. Divrei Rabban Gamliel. These are the words of Rabban Gamliel. And the commentators explain that the community had decreed a series of fasts without realizing that one of them would fall on Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, or Purim, and the people had already observed the first fast before the festival. The Mishnah, like we said again, says they fast on that day and they do not interrupt this series. Now, Chanukah and Purim are only rabbinic festivals, and Rosh Chodesh, although biblical, was not established as a day of feasting. Therefore, although it is forbidden to decree a fast for these days, we do not interrupt this series that has already begun. And again, the Mishnah says these are the words of Rabban Gamliel. Amar Rabbi Meir said, Af al pi she'amar Rabban Gamliel en mafsikin. Even though Rabban Gamliel said that they do not interrupt this set of fasts for these festivals, Modeh she'en mashlimin, he agrees that they do not complete the fast on the festival, rather they eat shortly before sunset. And another time when we do not finish a fast, V'chem Tisha B'Av shechal liot be'erev Shabbat. The same is done when Tisha B'Av, which is the 9th of Av, when we fast to commemorate the destruction of the first and second temples. When it falls on a Friday, we fast most of the day, but we eat before sunset so that we are not hungry when Shabbat begins. Now, it was possible for Tisha B'Av to fall on a Friday only in earlier times, when the Beit Din determined the beginning of each month based on the sighting of the new moon. The fixed calendar that we use nowadays is calculated so that this never happens. And that is the end of Perek Bet Mishnah Yud. We continue with Perek Gimel Mishnah Aleph. We learned in the first chapter, Mishnayot 4 through 6, that when the rains are delayed, the sages first decree a series of fasts that are relatively easy. Later, if more time passes without rain, they decree fasts that are more strict. This chapter teaches that for certain other types of calamities, the strict type of fasts are decreed immediately. Seder Ta'aniot elu ha'amur birvia rishona. The sequence of these fasts mentioned above, in which the fast gradually becomes more strict, applies only when the first rains of the seasons were delayed. However, if rain did fall, but the plants changed from their normal growth, which means it rained and crops grew, but they grew abnormally. For example, wheat grew without edible kernels, or inferior barley grew instead of normal barley. We immediately sound the shofar because of them, meaning we decreed the more strict type of fast when the shofar is blown. The shofar is blown only during the final series of communal fasts, like we saw in chapter 1, Mishnah 6, and not during the earlier series. The other laws of the strict fast are also observed. The fasts are held on consecutive Mondays and Thursdays until the situation corrects itself. V'chen shepasku geshamim ben geshem legeshem 40 yom. Similarly, if the rain stopped falling between the first rain and the second rain for 40 days, meaning the first rains fell on time, but then 40 days passed without any rain, matri'in alehem miyad b'pnei shu makat batzoret. We immediately sound the shofar because of them, since this is an affliction that indicates an impending food shortage. A long delay between rains is a serious emergency, because the crops that begin growing after the first rain will be lost if rain does not fall again soon. In these two cases, the danger to the crop is immediate, because if the situation is not remedied right away, the crops will suffer irreparable damage. Therefore, there is no time for the less stringent fast, and the severe fast must be observed right away. And this is in contrast to when the first rain of the season is delayed. In that case, there is time to gradually increase the stringency of the fast, because even if rain does not begin to fall until late in the season, the crops may still grow properly. And that is in Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.